Hello. Hello. Sofa Squad, how are you? Oh, what is going on? Now, y'all, before we even get started, oh, thank you, Emily. Y'all, drop a number one if you can hear me in the comment section, please, so I know that y'all can hear me on your end. And welcome, Emily, after we do that, our lovely moderator, and she just gifted 5 memberships to 5 different people. We do thank you. Hey, Chrissy, I hope you're feeling better. Okay, lots of ones. Yay. All right, awesome. So, yes, everybody, welcome. Thank you, Sofa Squad. Welcome. Welcome, Emily. Thank you for being here, Emily. I hope your house sitting is going good. So today, this is going to be, I'm going to say a quick live. I mean, who knows? We'll see where it goes. But we're on vacation, or I'm on vacation. I'm in Asheville. Took a little quick trip to get out of town before we go to CrimeCon. Now, remember, CrimeCon is coming up next week. What is today? Saturday. So next Saturday, if you're going to CrimeCon or in Nashville, 7 p.m. Eastern time is the meet and greet. It's at the hotel, the host hotel, the Opry, the Gaylord Opryland. When I get there Friday, I will find a place that the public can access so that you don't have to so that anybody can get to it. You know what I mean? And that's where we'll host a little meet and greet. It will be casual. It will be at 7 o'clock before the big little VIP party thing. So for those of you that are going, you have a chance to go there. Very chill. So there's that. Now, I have been editing the video, and I literally just finished editing it, but now I have to go watch it and then upload it for tomorrow morning. And it is on that testimony from Garth's. I'm calling him former friend at this point, right? The other day when that happened, Emily texted me and she was like, "Oh my God, bombshell information on the stand." So I watched it, but then I was like, okay, obviously I want to make a video. So I sat down and pieced together what I wanted to do today. And I texted Emily, I was like, I might have to just go live. I'm like, it is burning a hole in my pocket to talk about this. So that's what we're talking about. What I want to do is watch basically the same stuff that's going to be in the video, but just we're going to watch it and talk about it here live or whatever. Because my mouth is on the floor, y'all. I have so many questions I want to talk to y'all about. So the way we'll do it is I'm going to go share the screen here in a second. We're going to listen to and watch Nate Eaton's interview that he did with the guy, which sums it all up. But then we're going to watch just like a 10-minute video of him being questioned by Pryor and the state. Okay, so now, first of all, before we even get into that, can I just say this? Look at how clear the picture is. Look at how clear this picture is, y'all. Let me go back over here to the live version because I'm watching on here. I mean, look at this. I mean, come on, right? We can't get this quality of the normal sofa. I honestly think it is. Thanks, Gossip Rumor. I honestly think it is the background that I'm using. I think I'm going to need to get a green screen instead of those blue curtains that I have. And then you have the light. I've got my ring light here. Now it's very sunny. So the hotel, you see the windows right here, right? So it's just pure light coming in, which is hard to recreate at my house, but definitely I'm taking note here. So I think I'm going to get a green screen to put in the back so it's not blue because I think it fights with the color. I don't know all the kind of, science behind color and stuff like that, like with the lights and how they reflect into all this type of stuff. So there's that. Hey T-Rex, how's it going? And hello everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. Hey Upstate, I appreciate it. Hey Squint and Cat, I hope you're doing well. Hey Jennifer, Indy. Oh, thank you, Niche. I hope I'm saying your name right. So I'm gonna go pull this up on the other screen here. And while I do that, we'll talk. Okay, wait, hold on. Emily says, please note that the young man didn't see the trial before he testified. He is referring to Pryor as being harder on others, but from what he stated and observed. Cool. Awesome. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. I said, oh, okay. I said, hey. Okay, let me get over here and share the screen. Y'all, I've got a house, well, a hotel room full of dogs right now. I've got two of them here. If you've been following my post on the mountains that we've been doing, the two non-Roscoe dogs are here. Roscoe's right here. He just had meatloaf from Cracker Barrel. Um, so he's sleeping on a nice full tummy and his evening meds. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen, and then I'm gonna share the screen here. I'm just dying to. Oh my god, y'all. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Friend drops has me. Bombshell. Repeat a witness. Okay, here we go. Share. Let me make sure y'all are saying the same thing. Okay. 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 Okay, so we're listening to Nate Eaton interview. This is the guy who was like a close coworker of Garth, who was like, "Oh, well, Garth told me this a week after it happened." Here we go.
Is it Mackay?
Mackay.
And your last name?
Beglin.
Okay, so McKay, tell everybody why you were up here today.
So I worked with Garth at a haunted attraction, and I actually worked right next to him around the events of his mom's death. And he took a day off, and then he was back the following week, and he seemed kind of like sad, like, normal breathing. And I went up to him and I gave him like my condolences and stuff, and was talking to him for a bit, and then he told me that he was the one that found his mom when he got home from work the previous weekend. And he said that he got home and he couldn't find his dad, and that his mom was either next to the bed or on the bed. I don't remember what he said, but she was pale and her lips were blue. So
Okay. Yeah. Y'all, okay, my mouth's on the ground over this, y'all. Okay, so I want to say a couple of things, and these are like little things that right here I'm remembering, but also that I made mention of in the video that I recorded. Okay, when he's talking about, oh, we worked at this haunted this is completely side note here, again, before we get into the real stuff. When he's talking about, oh, we worked in a haunted house together and blah, 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 my thought was, I was like, surely Garth would not work at what I'm thinking, a haunted house, like when I go to here at Halloween. And I was like, I bet it's one of those haunted houses that's like based on like the sins, like, like the 7 sins, and like bad being like a sinner and stuff like that. So I went and looked it up, and it's an actual, like, legit, like, normal haunted house. I was just like, oh, that's wild that I just thought it was weird that he did that. Okay, now, here's the thing. Let's get to the story. To me, I feel like this is legit how this went down. I feel like what happened is Garth went, oh, thank you, Emily. She gifted 5 more of y'all memberships. I hope you enjoy them. Paul, give a shot. Neil, hold on. Elaine says, Paul, give a shout out hi to my husband, Neil. Hello, Neil. I hope I'm saying your name right, and thank you very much. I always love it when I hear that the husbands actually like me, because they're usually like, when I met some of y'all at CrimeCon and the husbands would be with them or whatever, it was like this thing of at first, like, oh my, like you go to bed at night with your person, they're like, why are you going to listen? Who are you listening to again? Why are you listening to them? And now they're like into it. You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, okay, what's going to happen next? So I appreciate it. Okay, so when he was like, I think this is how it went down. I think Garth came home. Now we're going to talk about what do we think happened. This is the biggest thing for me. What do we think happened in those 2 hours? What went down with there? But I think that this happened. He came home. Chad was gone. All that, and I think that he was just trauma dumping. Right? He was at work. He's kind of close to this guy, and it was more like because in my video even I said, I'm like, think about being at work. Okay, you have all different type of characters at work, right? And it's like, I just feel like he felt like he could confide in this guy, and just was like, yeah, I came home and I couldn't find my dad, and it was scary, and her lips were blue. Like, it didn't really faze me. You know what I mean? I was like, this sounds more legit than the story that Garth told on the stand. And we'll get to that because we're going to listen to some of that too. Garth is talking about, I came home around 1 o'clock, which we'll track when we hear this dude's story. Came home around 1 o'clock. Dad is snoring. They're both in the bed, but no, technically I didn't see, I didn't check to see if they're alive, but I heard dad snoring. I go YouTube, whatever, for 2 hours. Well, we'll get to that. 2 hours. I'm woken up by the thud. Now, this is where the story starts to be like, what? Huh? Is I heard a thud. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Um, Dad comes to get me, get your mom, whatever. Um, then she's tangled up in the sheet. She's halfway off the bed. I mean, thank you, Emily. Emily's Hammond's first super chat and live stream. I feel honored and I do appreciate that. And I like the cute sticker. Okay, now hold on. Mel says, I have an opinion. I think Chad got rid of poor Tammy while Garth was at work and got home at 1 in the morning. Okay, but so here's my question, Mel. And so I want to hear everybody's thing. If that's the case, do you think that, but he's saying that he walked in and saw his mom dead, or do you think that he was even lying about that? Like, do you think he completely made it up and that she was gone and he made up one story like he didn't have it? Because see, here's me. I'm like, how do you say it? I'm naive. Like, I finally was like, well, I guess what he's saying was somewhat true. So he must have come home and did this. Well, now he's talking about, well, I came home and mom was dead and I couldn't find dad. Now, here's my thing. So even before we get further into it, so here's my question. What do we think? Number one, let's go based on that's the real story. That's what happened. Okay. Like, he came home, he finds his mom dead. Chad's gone. First of all, I think this. So first of all, where's Chad? Right? Like, where's Chad? Is he out preparing something like a burial area or getting stuff ready in the truck? Is he gone dropping somebody off or picking somebody up? Viola says Chad was probably with Alex at the church. Okay. Yep. I think Garth found his mom dead, then yelled for his dad and found Chad either the cozy cone or he called his dad from dropping off. Yes. Okay. Agreed on all this. Chad probably hit his rig at the church. Yep. Okay, so here's this. Because this has always been my thing. At first I was like, oh, Chad and Alex killed her. That's what happened. Chad and Alex killed her. And then it was like, well, when Garth, hold on, what's your name? Jake. When Garth got on the stand, I was like, okay, if we're going with that, then maybe it didn't. And maybe the bruising and stuff like that on Tammy, it was from him, meaning Chad, holding her down with like his knees and taking her out. Now that it's like, okay, it's out. And again, it's he said, she said, right? But I mean, I tend to believe this guy more than Garth at this point. Now that this is out, I'm like, oh, no, I go back to my thing where I think Alex helped him. Now, here's the other thing. This is my opinion, too. I would give good money. I said this exact line in my video. I would give good money to know what the first words out of Chad's mouth were when Garth found him and got a hold of him. Dad, I think mom's dead. You need to come home. It was exact. Remember how Chad acted in the back of the police car with Emma and she's like, oh, they found the bodies over there. Oh, I think 100% that's what he did. I think Chad completely was just like, oh no, oh goodness, okay, let's say a prayer over our body. Then here's the next question. The phone call, the 911 phone call. There's all this time. If this is what happened, if he came home and he finds her dead, then what was going on during the next couple of hours? You see what I'm saying? Okay, let me read your comments real quick. I was literally dying. The entire reason I did live chat was to ask y'all those questions. I was dying for the last 2 hours. I was like, I'm dying to talk to somebody. Okay, hold on. Let me read your things here. The human is believe what his parents can both. Yeah, that's the thing, Violetta. Violet. I hope I'm saying Ambrose. I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry. That's the thing. His parents reminded him. The way he told the story was legit. Because remember, he was like, this happened and I kind of followed the case, not day for day, but I kind of did. So when this happened, my parents were the ones that reminded me, like, don't you remember that Garth told you this? Oh yeah. That's how something normal like this would play out. Okay, hold on. I think Chad was telling his kids what to say. He is good at gaslighting. Yes, I agree. I hope been whacked. I was 100%. Yes, 100. My question. Do I know? Yes. What's up with it? I was too wondering if he's coaching the kids. I was like, I totally told this guy what happened, and no one thought it would get this far. 100%, Mama. And then I won't call. Chad said that I went operator. She's clearly dead. No joke, Jack. She's been dead for hours. Exactly. Chad gave him a script. He messed up, and Chad took the phone. 100%. I didn't even think about that T-Rex. They were all told what say, yeah, why didn't Gar show any emotion? I know, and isn't it? And okay, so TikTok has just discovered the term dead eyes. Wait, hold on. Jake, the term dead eyes. And so like now my algorithm is like people like on TikTok explaining dead eyes. And if you don't know what dead eyes are, it's typically like, think of like Richard Ramirez, people who have just like, you look at their eyes and there's like nothing behind them. Y'all, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude here or anything, but like Chad and Garth and Emma, they all have those. Okay, just like that. You're just seeing through you. It's so bizarre to me. Okay, let's keep watching the thing. I forgot that we barely made it 1 minute. We made it 1 minute in, and I was like, I have 3,000 questions just based on the first minute. Let's keep watching. Whereas 4 minutes, I'm gonna end up stretching it out to 45-minute conversation. I forgot there's more video. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let me get back over to it. I just had literally, this is me for the last 2 hours over here in this hotel room, just pacing. Here we go.
So you all worked together in the haunted mill, and you would see him every weekend.
Yep.
And you worked close. You were saying in your testimony, you were in one room, he was in the other room.
Yeah, like we were separated by a curtain.
A curtain. So when people weren't coming through, you probably spent a lot of downtime talking.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. So you find out that his mom died. And then he didn't come to work. He missed 1 day.
Yep.
And then the following day he returned, and you went up to offer your condolences. And that's when he kind of explained what happened.
Yep.
And what did you think when he told you this?
I felt really bad for him. So I actually that night I was still living with my parents, and they would normally wait up for me. And I told them about it because I would talk to them about work and stuff. And they're actually the ones that remembered what I had said. And so when this was like hitting big news and stuff, I didn't even connect the dots that Garth had told me something different than what Chad had said in the news.
I see. So you went home and told your parents what.
Okay, so here's another little side note on that. Okay, imagine what this young man felt like when that all clicked with him. When he came home, his parents said this and this, that, and the other. And it was like that. Oh, wait, imagine the rock in his stomach, the you know what I'm saying, the lead weight. It just, I'm like, and especially, I mean, I'm sure like this is like a small area, so they probably knew like Tammy and all this kind of stuff. Come here. And so then to like put it all together, I mean, I would have been creeped out. Okay, let's keep going.
What he had told you.
Yep.
And then months later,
they were like,
when it's on the news, they're like, hey,
lining up.
Wow. So that's when you went to the police and told them that.
Yeah. So I actually know Detective Mattingly, and so that's how I was able to get on their radar. They had to have another detective reach out to me and actually talk to me though, because I do know him.
Right, because of the conflict.
So, yeah.
So what?
Okay, now this is another thing that stood out to me is this part right here. Remember how like Garth and Emma talk almost so negatively about the police? You know, like, oh, well, Hermosillo was working at the gym with me and he came up to a section that would just be too easy for me. He's trying to like listen and whatnot. This young man's talking about, well, the proper thing to do for them was to get somebody else because of the, you know, the connection there. That was just like, that wasn't right. We didn't do things properly. But you see how it's like he had this information and went. Here's the thing. I'm just like, the cops, number one, were probably trying to figure out, did y'all have anything to do with your mother's death? Number one. Number two, after that, are you just trying to cover up for your dad? Because here's the thing. If we're as a viewing audience, are catching these vibes and like something's not passing the vibe check or this clock checks out. Imagine what people working boots on the ground Felt like. And hold on, Upstate says, Paul, did you hear Emma's hubby Joe talk about cups just hard? No. Well, how do I look it up so I can look at it? Where was it? An interview? Emma. Oh yeah, Emma Murray, J Bell. I mean, the way Joe Murray's testimony. Okay, Joe Murray testimony. Please hold. Let me just get it in my thing. Joe Murray testimony. Daybell. Okay. I've recorded the interview with the juror from Lori's trial today, so that I can go back over that because I want to see what she has to say. And it's just when I was looking this up here, like trying to find that, this thing came up, somebody's video made of the title of it was like Emma Daybell making faces at reporters. This is the thing, that whole thing about riding the four-wheelers on the grave signs, all that, the disdain that they have towards police and reporters and people in general over that is disturbing. And now seeing and hearing people confirming like, oh yeah, no, he told me this happened. It's like, oh, like they okay. I mean, I'm just blown away. It all makes sense too because there was like this underlying sense of disdain towards Tammy, in my opinion, from their testimony. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. It could be. But I just felt like they both just had almost like this. Well, almost like if they could really speak, it would be like this. Well, she had gone dark. She was a zombie. She had to go. You know, like that would have been like the real, truth there. But it was no. She was. We had all been worried about her, and whatever Chad had been saying. You know what I mean? Like whatever Chad had been saying. Oh, is almost like what they kind of repeated, which was like not the proper thing to say, but like to them it was the proper thing to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So let's keep watching. Here we go.
What was it like testifying today?
It wasn't too bad. It was a short testimony, so it was a little nerve-wracking, but yeah, not too bad.
And have you been, following the case all these years?
Yeah, little bits here and there.
Yeah.
I've told some of like my close friends and stuff. I was like, hey, this story's a little fishy, and so I talked with them and stuff about it. But
the fact that the story coming out about Tammy being found didn't match what you were told.
Yeah.
Hey, did you ever follow up with Garth after that?
No, not really. Things just kind of fizzled out slowly from there.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
it's probably best.
I still work there in October's, and he hasn't been there, I think, the last 2 years. So I haven't seen him in a while.
Kind of lost touch.
Yeah.
What was?
I mean, my God, they can make a whole damn haunted house wing just based off the family alone. Oh, thanks, Lauren. They did say she got it. Yeah, so Pamela brings up a good point. Let me switch over to this other screen here where y'all at. Here you are. I 100% believe. So this is what I think, like, because you know how in the beginning where he's like, he did seem sad, he did seem this way. Like, I believe that, right? I'm just like, I'm sure he was. I'm sure that whatever happened, because it would be, imagine coming home, regardless of what's going on, and anyone's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I said this in the video, even if it's it was for sure a heart attack. They've been fighting cancer for a couple of years. It's still going to be traumatic. But I think Chad went into immediate, he had already been gaslighting them up. I think Chad had been going around the house talking about, see how your mom can't do that. She's near her time. He was telling people, I mean, not even family members, the short life of hers and this. I just felt like he was gassing everybody up for this. And then it came about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, T-Rex, I would do too. T-Rex says, I wonder if Garth is a little relieved that the truth is out. To me, Emma seems more at ease with the vibe between the two of them, if that makes sense. And I don't know how to say it other than that. Um, I know Tracy says, I still think the prosecutor should ask Emma if when her dad prayed the darkness away in her, did she drop dead? Exactly. I love the prosecutor. Hey, Wicked West Paranormal. Okay, let's go. No, come here, sweetie. Come here. Oh, it's okay. Such a little baby.
Was it like being cross-examined by John Pryor? Were you nervous at all?
A little bit, not too bad. I feel like it was definitely a little worse with other people than it was with me. So,
yeah. All right. What do you feel now that it's over? What's your feeling?
I'm relieved, but I'm also kind of excited to see like where the trial ends up going. And so now that I can actually follow the case. So
I guess your testimony, I mean, while it wasn't long, it's kind of proof that sometimes just the little things that we hear from our friends or colleagues can make a big difference. Is that
correct?
How you would
Huge
describe
difference.
Yeah, I would say
Huge.
So
okay.
I would have given good money to see the look in the jury's face when they heard this. I mean, good money, okay? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that scream. Please hold. Please continue to hold. Your call is important to us. Thank you. You don't like that, do you, buddy? Jake's very like, with my voices, he's like, huh? Huh? Jake is a little puppy. He's a little velociraptor. Jake is in velociraptor stage right now, aren't you? Yeah, I am. I'm a little velociraptor. It's okay. Sylvia says, hey, Sylvia. Sylvia says, fine, I just realizing this is a live podcast. That's okay. There's this TikTok. I forget what the dude was talking about. Oh, it was, he was pretending that Apple came out with an app that was like something called like, something like Sneaky Boo List or something like that, where basically he was trying to say Apple's released this thing so that you can put these contacts in this list, and if you're around and it picks up on other people's phones that you want it to, and when you're around, it won't let those numbers ring or whatever. And I mean, he made this whole like big TikTok on it. Well, I listened to the whole TikTok, was like, wow, that's really shady. Went to the comment sections, then had to actually say it out loud. And I was like, Paul, would Apple make an app called like Sneaky Boo List? Does that make sense? Then I got deep in the comments and started seeing people talking about it's fake or whatever. And that was my guy. I was like, I had to read this whole thing, talk to myself out loud over it. It was crazy. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go watch, what do you call it? The testimony that he did on the stand. It's only like 10 minutes or so. Please hold. Okay, how do I get back to y'all? There you are. Okay, share screen. Share screen. We're going to go over to repeat a witness. Share. We're going to come over here. We're going to go boom. Let me make sure y'all see it. You do. So here we go. So this is the gentleman that was just being interviewed by Nate Eaton. He is, this is the clip of it from East Idaho News, 10 minutes long. And we're going to hear the state start off questioning first. There he is. There's the marshal. He's like, now listen here, boy.
What's it? Yeah, thank you. All right, the court will note now the witness has been sworn. Before we begin with direct examination, I'll just inquire, Mr. Baglin, have you listened to any of the testimony that's taken place in this trial, either through the live stream or any other way observed any trial testimony?
I've not. No.
Okay. Have you talked to anyone else about anything they've testified to in this trial?
No.
Okay, thank you for those responses. Ms. Blake, you can inquire on direct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I
Would
love
you
Miss
please
Blake.
state your name and spell
Love
it for the
her.
record?
Jason McKay Abeglin. That's JasonMackayAbegglen.
And do you go by McKay?
Yes.
Mr. Abeglin, do you know an individual named Garth Daybell?
Yes, I do.
How do you know him?
We worked together at a haunted attraction called the Haunted Mill.
And where's the Haunted Mill located?
It's in Teton, Idaho.
And when you say Teton, Idaho, is that the city of Teton?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately when you worked there with Garth?
I started working there, I think, in 2016, and we had worked together for quite a few years. But I worked like right next to him the year of 2019. We worked, really close.
And when you say you worked right next to him, can you explain a little bit what you mean by that?
He was just one room over from mine. And so if it was slower, we could like talk to each other and stuff. So.
And with the Haunted Mill, typically how long is that open? Is it a seasonal attraction?
Yep, it's open for roughly the month of October.
And so in October of 2019, you were working in close proximity to Garth.
Yes.
At some point, did you and Garth develop a friendship?
Yeah, we did.
Did you sometimes hang out outside of work?
We went to a few haunted houses together after the season had ended. Yeah.
Did you hang out when you were at work and associate with each other?
Yes.
Did Garth generally talk to you about any issues within his family?
Nope.
Do you recall?
Okay, I just want to pause real quick because Pryor's going to bring this up in a minute when he talks about it. But again, and this is just my opinion on it. When they're talking about like, oh, did he usually talk to you about this, and the other? I think for me, I was like, this just shows how much it bothered him. Like the true feelings or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I think he was like trauma dumping. You know what I mean? Like when he came into work, it was like, that was like, oh God, I came home, my mom, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's totally like, ugh. And Donna Burrows, I am so living for the fact that you had Dolly's Donuts. That is amazing. Absolutely love that. I've only had them once, and every day I want to go back to Krispy Kreme and have all of them. I absolutely love it. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and thank you, Cindy. Cindy says, I'm 15 and have migraines and in bed a lot. According to Dr. Chud Daybell and son, I'm on death's door. Exactly. This is how they operate, right? Thank you for the super chat. Here we go.
An occasion when he did share something with you about some family issues?
He told me it was the following weekend after his mom's passing. He talked about that.
What do you recall him telling you about that?
I remember he said that he found her when he got home from work, and he didn't know where his father was. And I don't remember if he said that she was in the bed or next to the bed, but she said she was kind of pale and her lips were blue.
On a typical...
Okay, this is another question that I had too. Okay, so what if he's like, oh, she was pale, her lips were blue, this, that, and the other. I feel like, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a different opinion, he was walking in almost like moments after or minutes after whatever took place. So if it was like Chad and Alex, they did this, they're like, up, the deed's done. Okay, let me go drop you off if that's what he did. Or let me go do blank. You know what I'm saying? But it was almost like soon there, like this was like almost that event. But then too, if you get to where he waits to talk about how the body was frozen, because I can see Chad being like, look, we have to come up with a story, like almost like I'm going to get in trouble for this if this happens. We have to say this. I don't know. Let me just keep letting it play. I'll talk myself in circles. Hold on. Here we go.
Cool night. When would work end at the Haunted Mill?
We usually left work around 12:30ish. Depending on how busy it was, we would go later. So some nights we'd go until like 1 or 1:30. But
And your understanding from what Garth told you was when he got home,
So the time checks out. The time that he says checks out with about what Garth says when he got home.
he found his mother.
yeah,
And at that time, her lips were blue and she was pale,
yes,
and that he did not know where his father was.
correct.
I have no further questions.
Amen, Miss Blake. No further questions. I mean, that right there, you could have heard a pin drop. Talking about, my God, yeah. I fell off the damn sofa. I can't imagine being in there live. I'm reading your comments real quick. Oh, it's been temporarily closed. Susie says she looked up Haunted Mill. It's been temporarily closed. Why didn't Garth call 911? That's my question too. Sylvia says, honey, I'm over here with my jaw on the floor. Chad was lucky to have Tammy. I know. Because here's another thing too with Tammy, when they were all talking about all this stuff about like, oh, she couldn't carry this heavy box and I had to go do this. I'm like, well, that might have been normal, right? I mean, honestly, I brought up a thing of water to the room the other day. You would have thought I ran a damn marathon. You would have thought I ran a marathon. My thing is this, to me, it sounded like Tammy did everything in the damn house. I'm just like, what was Chad doing besides writing these stupid little books, his little self-published books? It sounds like Tammy did everything. You know, and this is the thing, if you talk to people who are outside of these three, basically, and Lori, I guess, too, outside of the clique that was part of doing, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like the very close people to her. They were like, no, she was fine. She was excited. She had a grandbaby. She had this. It wasn't this whole thing like they're talking about, like she was just done. But again, I think that for a long time, Chad was, and Zombiehead, yep, Zombiehead says Chad brainwashed his kids about her health, 100%. And I think he was doing it for a while. Yeah, Emily says she was struggling carrying books. Why didn't they lift a finger to help? Exactly. That's where it was like almost, and this is where it makes me wonder, and this could just be me. So let me know what y'all think. But I was like, again, I just go back to basically here's the question. Do we think that Garth and Emily are of the how do you call it? Of the, oh, mom's dark, she's possessed, she's a zombie. You know what I'm saying? Like that of Chad's belief system in that level. Because I almost feel like the way that these people looked at their victims, they looked at them like, oh, that wasn't them anymore. That was a zombie. They had to go. You know, so it was best for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it makes me wonder if they did that as well. Again, I don't know. I don't know them. You know, so. Especially I'm talking about what he did. Boxes of books are freaking heavy. The whole family crazy. Tammy was depressed because she saw the physical change in Chad and sensed the affair as well, not to mention the disdain he felt for her. She couldn't win. Yeah, they thought that. Yeah, so, and Claire, you bring up a good point saying she was depressed because she saw that. We also got to remember, Chad is falling in love with Lori on the side. We heard the way he talked about the family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we heard the way, oh, God, I got to go do this and that. And Lori gassing him up. He was over it. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, there's going to be some level with that, but he was already, yeah, T-Rex makes a good point. Emma, yes, Garth, no. That's the vibe I get too. People who are abused, no. Oh, and did you hear where, I can't remember which kid was talking about how Tammy would drink that stuff, that silver stuff. Do y'all remember, if you follow when we do the, we cover the true crime cases? Thanks, Zaid, I'm sorry. I haven't said your name right, but thank you. Where she turned blue, that cult movie we watched that one time where she was drinking that stuff and they said Tammy likes drinking it. I can't think of the name of it. Again, I'm going to go back and press play.
All right. All right, Mr. Pryor, cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, what was the work schedule at the Haunted Mill?
We would open
It was
around
frightening.
7:30 and then it would go to midnight, but we weren't able to leave until the rest of the customers made it through the attraction.
And what days of the week would the Haunted Mill be open during the month, just the month of October, correct?
Now, I'm sorry, just side note. Let me tell you what, they be getting a real scaled down version from me come about midnight. Okay. Come about midnight, I'd be like, I'd be like, this is a young person's job right here. Don't be asking me to do all this at midnight. I still got to go get out of costume and go home. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. That's what I was thinking when they talked about the times. I was like, no, y'all. Okay, here we go.
Correct. And it would be open. They changed their schedule. I think the last 2 weeks of the month, it was full time. And then the rest of the month, it was just on the weekends.
So if I understand correctly, that the last 2 weeks of October would be every day?
Yes.
Did that include Sundays?
No.
So it was Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
Okay.
And the day that the Haunted Mill would close would be the 31st of October?
Correct.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you know the day that Tammy Daybell died?
This part right here.
I do not.
Okay. So when you told the prosecuting attorney that it was the week after her passing, if you don't know what day she died, how do you know it was a week after her passing?
Garth.
He thought he ate right there. How do you know it was that? He dropped that mic, but then Jason picked it right back up. He picked it right back up. I get, and I said this in the video, I get that the defense attorney, we'd all want the defense attorney to poke holes in everything they possibly could. And I get that's what Pryor's trying to do. But this was like a fence, and I'm just like, dude, you just need to move away from questioning this dude too much because it just solidifies the story. But if you look at Chad's face a couple of times, he makes a face like, almost like, well, he's lying. And I'm just like, please.
He took a day off after it happened, and then he was back the following weekend. So it's just when I saw him next.
Okay. So it was the following weekend after the date that Tammy allegedly passed away.
Correct.
Did he mention anything about attending funeral services or any memorials the following weekend?
No, he did not.
Did he say anything about having to do visits with his church or anything like that as part of any program the weekend after that?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Okay.
So he indicated that she had blue lips and she had already passed. Is that right?
Correct.
Did he indicate to you that at that time he played video games until 3:00 in the afternoon?
Objection, Your Honor, misstates testimony.
Overruled.
Did he say anything to you about the fact that he was playing video games until 3:00 that evening? Sir?
No, he did not.
Now, listen, Pryor's going to get all torn up here in a second. We're getting ready to go. If you've watched it, you'll know. But we're getting ready to go through a plethora of objection because he's trying to be like, like insinuating that this guy's lying. And I love how Miss Blake is so quick, like with boom, boom, boom. No, Your Honor, case law, it's firm. Your Honor, this, it's that. I mean, she's very on it. Okay, here we go.
Did he say anything about hearing snoring coming from the room that night as well, sir?
No, he did not.
Okay, wait, hold on. So on that note, let's pause for a second. I have a question. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. If what's his name? Garth comes home, finds his mom dead at 1:00 in the morning. So do we think that Chad told him the story to say, you heard me snoring? Basically this, what do we think they did for the next couple of hours? You know what I mean? Like, what do we think they did? Like, what was going on? Yes, she does remind me of the Johnny Depp lawyer, Wilma. Why would he say Chad was fake snoring. Chad lied for his father. It's that simple. Yep. The way Garth answered, he was definitely told what to say. Hey, Van. I'm just reading your comments right now. I agree. I love your Joan Pryor. Oh, thanks, Brenda. Chad Fate cried and did a blessing. And here's the thing, too. That's what I was thinking, Aaron. I was thinking this. I was like, that Chad, whatever he played off me, like, oh, she's dead. Oh, okay. We should perform a blessing, son. Hold on. Roscoe, come here, honey. Roscoe doesn't like these young whippersnappers. Jake, that's not playtime. Let's just get situated. Roscoe doesn't want to play with you. No. He's an old man. But that Chad was like, or casting something. It was like, it wasn't just like, well, obviously we know they didn't call 911 right away. There was that whole thing. Hold on. We don't fight, Jake. Okay. So there's that. Let's go back over here before we have a full on doggy jamboree over here.
And you and Garth would be such close friends. You went to 2 haunted houses in 3 years.
Objection, Your Honor, misstates the testimony.
is hard.
Argumentative.
Sustained.
Move to strike.
I'll strike that.
Move to strike
question.
it.
So how many, you mentioned that you went to a couple of haunted houses. Is that right, sir?
Yeah, we did that all on the same night.
The same night as what?
It was, I think, the following weekend after our attraction had closed. We just went and visited some other places that were still open.
On the 31st. Who went with you?
It was myself, Garth, Kara Briggs, and Emma Moss.
And this revelation that he supposedly made to you occurred.
Honor, argumentative. Move to strike.
Sustained.
Move to
And
strike.
the statement that he made to you supposedly occurred when during this?
You see how Pryor gets Jake. Jake is desperately trying to play with Roscoe, and Roscoe is literally just not having it at all. You see how Pryor, it's like he starts off kind of cordial, and then it's like he'll get into it and like get all snotty with him and stuff, and he's just sneaking these little snarky words in there. Supposedly, the this, the that. Thanks, Robin. I appreciate it. It's just, and I just love how Your Honor, Lindsay's over here just like, Your Honor, strike again. She's annoyed with it. Okay, here we go.
This visit?
Objection, Your Honor. Again, argumentative with the word supposedly. Move to strike.
I'll sustain that as well, Mr. Pryor.
Just get
Can
it
you tell me
together,
when
Pryor.
and time, date the statement was made to you, sir?
I was still at work at the Haunted Mill. There were a few other scare actors around
Look at
us
Chad's face.
at the time. It was a little bit closer to the end of the shift. Garth was pretty quiet most of the night, and then I kind of went up to him and gave him my condolences, and then that's when he told me that he had found her.
So you weren't particularly close friends. Would that be fair?
Yeah, more like close coworkers.
Okay. And this close coworker disclosed to you something very personal about his mother's death. Is that right?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
Overruled.
This close coworker decided on one day just to disclose a very personal matter about his mother's death to you. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, nothing else, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Again, he thought he ate right there again, too. Think of your coworker. Think of currently, past, present, whatever. You think of all the random stuff that y'all might be like, where do you work? You learn a lot of random stuff about your coworkers. This does not strike me as odd that he said that he was quiet all night long. He probably been thinking about it. He came through. Obviously he went to some couple of haunted houses, so he's close with this dude. I'm sorry, this just completely checks out to me. Could it be a little bit of oversharing? Maybe, but I think it really bothered him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, Lost Ronan, how's it going? Lost Ronan says you spend more time with your coworkers than your family. I mean, seriously. So it's like you learn all this stuff. It's not like I've heard worse from coworkers than this right here. Okay. Trust me. So that's why Pryor's trying to make a big deal. But also I get it where I'm like, he's doing his job. He's trying to poke holes in every little bit of the story. It is what it is. That's what he's supposed to do. I get it, right? And yeah, and Service Dog, first of all, how are you doing? Good to see you. Service Dog says to not talk about your mom dying would be sus. If he said nothing about it and we were here now, it would be even weirder to me. You know what I mean? Even like from a human level where I'm like, he didn't confide, or it seems to really be an issue with him. Yeah, and Aaron says, my coworkers tell me random personal stuff all the time. You spend your life with them. I mean, yeah. I literally, like, my coworker, same thing. It's just you get close with them. They're like your work family, with all the good and the bad that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and Claire says the fact that it was a coworker makes it more credible. Exactly. That's the thing. Here's the thing. When you start hearing the story and all this, and this is what I'm very curious if the jury has noticed. She says, unpopular opinion. I've started enjoying listening to a prior tries. It is interesting. I think that a lot of people can say that for real. I mean, it's just, here's the thing. When you want to talk about vile defense attorneys, I always, one of my measuring sticks is Jennifer Rosenbaum trial. I cannot think of the attorney's name in it. She was a horrid woman. Okay. Pryor doesn't come close to her for me. Like, he's kind of nice compared to her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it is what it is. But yeah, it's always like, okay, what's he going to do? At this point, man's just trying to get his bills paid. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get his bill paid, keep this man away from Old Sparky. Plain and simple. He's just trying, he's on the clock. Okay, hold on. Where? Okay, let's finish watching him. Okay, so now he rests. Now Lindsay's going to get back up there.
Miss Blake, redirect.
She said, oh, yes. Chad's like, yeah, buddy. I would have died if Chad and him fist bumped when he sat back down.
Mr. Baglin, when Garth talked to you about finding his mother, how did he appear?
He did seem sad. So
Yeah.
I could tell something was affecting him.
Makes it seem all the more legit.
And was he clear to you in his statement that he's the one that found his mom?
Yes.
And was he clear in his statement that his dad wasn't there?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Amen.
All right. That will conclude the testimony then of Mr. Baglin.
Wait, I think he comes back.
I don't know if he was here under subpoena from the state, but if so, can he be released, Ms. Blake?
Yes, Your Honor, he may be released.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. You can step down.
Yeah, he didn't say it. Pryor was like, I'm good. Pryor's like, I'm good. I'm good on him. I don't have anything else to say. I mean, it's just, oh my God. Mel says Pryor walks around as if he's carrying the whole world on his shoulders. I know, right? I'm surprised Pryor hasn't collapsed. I know. I'm just reading your comments now. Yeah, Carol says grief is weird. That's the only benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. Exactly. And see, that's the thing that always with these things, it's like looking through the lens of like, look, everybody grieves differently. Everybody does this differently. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that's why this just seemed the textures of this guy Jason's testimony seems so much more real than what Garth is up there in the stand talking about. Because remember, he's talking about, I came home at 1, I heard them snoring. I'm like, that's convenient. I saw their bodies in the bed. You're not going to, of course, think, but you're not going to be thinking in a normal situation, do I need to go check and make sure they're alive, right? I get that. I went and played on YouTube for a couple of hours. Now that's completely reasonable. I mean, I do this on a daily basis. But for his story, it's too convenient. It's like, well, what were you doing now? Then Dad came. I heard a thump. Dad came and woke me up. And that's where it's like something does not seem right about that at all. Again, I'm no scientist, but they've already gotten people that are up in the stand. Aussie crying, hey, Aussie, how are you doing? Is Pryor a zombie now? He might be. That's the thing with a lot of these people where I'm like, they're lucky they're alive because, I mean, they had to kind of go along with it. You know what I mean? Like, or else God only knows. Joey B says, I wish my coworkers would stop talking most of the time. That's the thing. If your coworkers are not oversharing with you, is it a workplace? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Yeah, Mama Goose says they waited until 6 a.m. to make that phone call. I mean, it's just like, again, I'm sure Chad was doing like, we need to do this, we need to do that, and things like, whatever. And then he probably was like, look, we're going to have to say this because the cops are going to ask questions. Now, remember, Chad knows behind the scenes all this other mayhem that's going on that they're excusing away. You know what I mean? Oh, Sherry says, I think Chad just wanted Garth's help to get Garth's DNA on his mom. Probably so. Hey, Dwayne, how's it going? Yeah, they felt okay sharing because, hold on. Adeline, I hope it said your name right. I think he felt okay sharing because they thought no one would look into the lies. Yeah. That's the thing, because, too, I mean, think about it from Garth's point of view. Like in the beginning, it might have been like, what happened? And Chad has gassed him up to think that this was on its way to begin with. You know what I mean? And so he's like covering up and not knowing. I mean, like, what do you say to the bodies in the backyard? Yeah, Medea says the only explanation is Garth and Emma knew Tammy was zombie Viola. Yes. Schoolie says, I used to be a nurse. Coworkers definitely overshare. Hey, Ruby says, my coworker has such huge fake eyelashes. I never hear a word she says. Mesmerized. They are kind of mesmerizing. In the workplace for being paid. Dominique says, I knew all the men were making 30% more because all the men told me when I was working as an office junior. That tracks. Jenny, I'm a teacher. We all overshare. At least my fun group of lunch buddies do. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like they said, you're there with it. Even like, pardon me. I know I'm doing Pepsi today because we're out of, we filled up on Coke Zero, but I'm down to my Pepsi Zero and Starburst. And notice it is empty. It is empty. And some water too. So now I'm dying to get to next week. Not that I'm wishing time away, but I'm just like, oh my gosh. So this is what I do. So I'm going to start working on, I have not listened to, a lot of you asked me about it, the video from the juror that Nate interviewed the juror from Lori. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. I keep getting interrupted, but thank you for having us. I'm praying the jury's all right. I know. Amen, girl. I hope you're feeling better, Chrissy. I saw your thing from earlier. Oh, are they going to play jail phone calls? I hope so. Oh, that'd be so good. Are there more jail phone calls to go over? I'm just reading comments now. Oh, wait, the interview isn't that well. Is it not that great? Would my time be better spent reviewing Emma's husband testimony or that interview? Like, what would be more interesting content-wise? Oh, hey, Neferiti. Imagine going through labor, childbirth, and raising children, and they betray you and death for your weird shit. I know. I 100% agree with you. That was the thing. It's like to sit there and listen to them talk. Oh, thanks, Robin. I appreciate it. Emma's daily calls with Daddy. Oh, God, I would love that. Hell, I'd love to hear her calls with Lori. Emma's hubby. Okay, the husband. Okay, I'll do that one then. Emma Chad calls Emma's husband is a punk, in my opinion, and loved Lindsay asking Emma about things that Lindsay had clearly heard on the jail calls. Emma didn't flinch. It makes you really just like, oh, I know. Emma, she was just womp. And I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. Oh yeah, the rebuttal is that next to Monday's Memorial Day, so Tuesday they're going to be back in court. Did they say what's going to start up on Tuesday? Did they say Emma's husband? Okay, I'll do that one next. Yeah, and I just saw. Thank you, Aussie Crime, for answering the question for Mary D. So just I forgot to say in the beginning also, but since we're all here, so I have 2 channels. Thanks, Lynette. I appreciate it. I have 2 channels. I have the channel that we're watching right now, which is the podcast channel. And wait, hold on. I can't like it. This is the podcast channel. This is a totally separate channel, so make sure you're sub to it. The other channel is just reporting live from my sofa. That's where I do the edited videos and stuff like that. And then we do live chats over there sometimes, like for something big. But that's like edited videos, things of that nature. Over here is like going live like this, like random, this type thing or whatever. And then I'm going to be starting on the other channel. Like you can load things up to the podcast section of YouTube now. So the first one is going to be the entire read through of that godforsaken book by Jody Hildebrandt. You are not enough. Well, I've got a little cat back there. It's 5 hours long. So if you didn't listen to it in bits and pieces and want to hear the whole thing, it's for a day of work. It's going to be going up maybe by Monday. I'll see. So just be on the lookout. But yeah, they're 2 separate channels. So just make sure that you're subbed to both if you want to. Jake, look. That's so anyways, that's it. I just wanted to come in here and talk to you about that. I was, like I said, I've been working on the video and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I am dying. So that being said, I'm gonna run. We're all gonna go out to dinner tonight, so I'm going to go out to dinner now. So tomorrow will be the video, the edited version of my video of this that I went over. So be on the lookout for it. It's on the other channel. And that's it. So I do appreciate it. I hope that y'all are well. Thank you for joining me. Everyone give a shout out to Emily. Thank you for joining. Oh yes, and remember, Emily, myself, and Derek are going to be at CrimeCon next week. Saturday evening, 7 o'clock, will be the meet and greet. Friday, when I get there, we'll announce where it's going to be because we're going to make sure that it's somewhere that like the general public can get to and not behind like the CrimeCon paywall. I don't have a booth there, so this is just like a very casual meet and greet type thing. So there's that. Oh, Chrissy, I've not been paying 100% attention to it, but I do want to look at his apology video. Oh, and thanks Stephanie for her first live chat. I appreciate it. And hello Ireland. So that's it. Y'all have a good one. I will post that tomorrow. I hope everybody's having a wonderful holiday weekend. And that's it. I will see y'all soon. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, Miss Emily. I will talk to y'all later. Alligators after a while. Y'all have a good evening. Y'all take care.